Yeah.
And but no, so what has it been like growing up as the child of Brian Pillman? I mean, my son, know what little bit of fame I have. My son gets a little bit of grief over being the son of Kenny Bolin. I can only imagine how it's been for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's definitely been a wild ride. It hasn't started becoming as awesome as you imagine up until recently, up until I
Got
got involved in wrestling and
right.
started to learn about what being a Pillman really means and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. So growing up, it was a little bit rough, and things. But there was times, in high school, kids would be like, oh, your dad played in the NFL, this, that, and the other.
Oh, yeah. Big star with
Not
the
too
Bengals.
many, not too many of my friends were into wrestling, so they may or may not have thought that was cool. But they always thought it was cool that he played in the NFL and was this great athlete and
Yeah.
things. So that's kind of how I made my friends was through football and stuff. But no, I mean, sometimes you go to GameStop and the guy at the cash register is like, "Wow, you're Brian Pillman's kid," and then he like buys the game for you because he's like,
Oh,
"I can't
wow.
do it."
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't even believe it, because like I was just a kid, and they were like, "Oh, that's bullshit,"
How many years did your dad play with the Bengals? Because I remember when he
But it's
played.
like now that I'm in wrestling, it's like I'm growing up all over again. I'm
I bet
experiencing
it
what
is.
it is to have that name, right?
I bet it is. And man, your dad was a good looking man. I mean, everybody just was blown away at the looks your dad had. You're giving
Yeah.
Pop a run for his money. I don't often compliment man's looks, but
Thank
you
you.
you got the look, man. I haven't seen you wrestle a match yet, and I'd already take a chance on you in the WWE. I mean, that's what we did here in OVW is we developed
Yeah.
talent with them for about 10 years.
Yeah.
My biggest claim to fame was John Cena. I don't know how much or how little you know of me. If you're just getting in, probably nothing. But boy, just seeing your look and having that name, shit, I'd take a chance on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like I've been wrestling 9 months. You can imagine that with my physical ability and athleticism, that I'm. You can imagine what skill level I'm at right now. I'm not perfect in the ring. I don't have perfect psychology, but I got a lot of energy, and I go out there and I always deliver
Hey,
a solid performance.
John Cena and Rico Constantino came to OVW with a combined maybe 15 matches under their belt, and I think Rico had 3. And Rico got 5 years out of the WWE, and of course, you know what John Cena's done.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's it'll come. I assure you, it'll come. And I think WWE would be absolute fools not to get in on you on the ground. Maybe get you down to NXT. I don't know if that's been talked about yet or not.
yeah.
There
And
is
there,
money to be made.
there's some lines of communication in there, and
Mhm.
there's some people I've talked to, but nothing. I'm definitely not begging for a job. I'm
No,
just.
I
I actually ran into them on my travels. I wasn't trying to go and send any emails and get any favors, but they saw me perform. They liked what they saw, and they asked me for some film. So that's about as vague as I think I'm going to keep it
in
right
my
there.
opinion, there's so many that send in the tapes, so many that beg, so many, and people with far less credentials than what you've got. And
Yeah,
I've always liked to do it that way because when they come to you, at least you know they want you, and at least you know you got a bargaining chip. When you're going to them, the favor it leans their way, and I
yeah.
think you're going about that exactly the right way. And you know
Thank
what
you.
your skill level is, you know what your potential is, better than anybody. And
Yeah,
but for the fame that your dad had in WCW and in WWE, you would let a lot of people kind of relive their youth a little bit.
yeah.
I,
The nostalgia, right?
I was a little disappointed that Lawler's kids, that Brian Christopher, who was a good friend, and so sad what happened to him recently, and
Yeah.
Kevin Lawler, I was a little disappointed that one of them didn't try to maybe emulate their dad a little bit more, but they really didn't even go about Lawler's name. Brian Christopher, I don't think ever did.
Yeah.
Kevin Lawler did a little bit, but he was a referee. He didn't just the wrestling part of it just didn't click
It's
with him.
hard, it's not always wise to
Yeah,
step into those shoes,
big,
especially with
big shadow.
Jerry Lawler still being alive. It's hard for people to
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
harder for them to separate that. But with my dad being passed so many years,
yeah.
there's an element of nostalgia there that has been dormant. I'm
Pardon
not
me
trying
for
to
asking.
copy him in any way, but just
Pardon
being
me for
myself,
asking.
people can relate to it, right?
Now, I'm sorry for asking, but what year did your dad pass?
It was 97.
97. It was 97. October 5th, 97.
I mean, it seems like we were watching him on TV just a few weeks ago. I mean, that's what impact he made on wrestling in both WCW and in WWE, and the angle that him and Steve Austin had going was just I mean, when you can make me wonder if it's a shoot, you've really done your job. And Jerry used to say the same thing about me and Cornette arguing with each other, that he thought we truly to God hated each other.
Well, in the last angle he was involved with Goldust and Marlena, I mean, that was just I mean, it was hard to believe that was fake or real too. I mean, it was so believable.
Brian, his dad was very believable, and we all thought that he was shoot batshit crazy to some level and was capable to go off on anybody in a minute. And that's why you do that. I mean, that's what the profession is about, is to make the people believe. And your dad was a master at that. So if you can learn anything from him, I mean, you've already got the look, you got the genetics. I mean, you learn that psychology, man, that your dad had, and you're
where it's all at. That's what it's all about. Yeah, right there.
What's that now?
Just a moment, brothers.
I thought he was doing something. I wasn't sure what he was doing.
Now, the whole Pillman's Got a Gun segment, were you at the helm when that was being filmed and everything during that time?
Yes.
We got to hear a little bit about were you like put away and couldn't get around, or were you there? Were you like in part of the production and all that?
I was upstairs. We were told that we had to go upstairs. And we had some guys watching us, keeping an eye on us, trying to prevent us from, like going down there during the stuff, because. And
you're like,
I remember I was nervous. I had no idea what was going on. I was very scared as a kid, just like, what the heck?
How old were you then?
Somebody's breaking in our house. And that glass was down by the basement for like the next 2 weeks because they didn't fix the fucking window.
Oh, wow.
Like 2 weeks. So I'm just like a kid. I'm like, my house got broken into and like nobody cares.
And they didn't fix the window for 2 weeks?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Did Steve Austin ever give you money back for that kiddie pool he destroyed?
He didn't. He did not.
I'm going to bring that up to Austin next time I talk about it. I'm going to let him know he owes Pillman some money.
He tweeted that out one day. He said I started GoFundMe or something, I think, one time. It was pretty funny. Yeah.